Alright, hello and welcome to the next episode in my Chimps Guide series. I do apologize about the delay. I haven't been playing the game as much recently. There's another game that I play that had an update, so I've been playing that mostly. If you're interested, it's called The Elder Scrolls Legends. It's a card game, and if you like card games, I highly recommend it. But getting it back into the game though, in the last video I had talked about possibly doing a more either Rake or Shoots, and I'm going to do Rake in this video. I am not too up to date on what all is the new best setups with the new updates, which I'm going to talk about a little bit. I do know that Obyn is ridiculously strong now, so pretty much Obyn is going to be the hero to use in most cases, and I know the village got a buff for the primary expertise, which I'm going to also use, and just kind of go over some of the other updates and what I've at least seen other people do. So Obyn can pretty much, on most cases, solo, and this is a good example. I'm glad I did this. The positioning on this can randomly leak a balloon on round 1. So if that happens, just set its position up again, and it should work in most cases. It's a weird timing thing. So okay, again, I got another leak there. So let's do one more restart. And but at the beginning, Obyn is going to stay on first, and then we're going to put him on strong. Obyn is way stronger now than he used to be. He now pops 2 layers of balloon at a time, so he can almost solo like through round 10 on his own. The only exception is some of the maps like this one where it has different directions. He can't quite solo to round 10, but if some of the earlier maps where it loops in, back on itself and it doesn't split the direction, Obyn can pretty much solo that now. So I'm going to use a sub and put the sub on strong to help Obyn out in the early game. Obyn pops, I think it's 2 layers of balloons at a time, and so basically this is going to pop the greens and the yellows down so that Obyn can easily clean up everything. And this is really all you need for your start. It looks like the most common strategy post-release, as far as like a real solid general one, is to go with Obyn. You might use a sub or some dart monkeys depending on what you need to help get through the early rounds, and then you just go straight for a ninja, and we're going to get the ninja to 3rd tier, 301. So the Obyn and ninja can get you all the way through round 30 or so, and then you just get a super monkey, and that's pretty much the core setup that you're going to want to use for now. It's very similar to how it used to be. I mean, ninja into super monkey has been a strategy in most versions of this game, and it's probably going to still be a strategy even in the long distant future. Once we get this ninja upgraded a bit more, we're going to put Obyn on strong, and so he'll be helping peel off the layers and get maximum damage by changing his targeting. But in this early game, you still want him to be on first to help not leak anything. And something else I'm going to talk about in the video is some of the balance changes that happened, and just kind of go over them as I'm playing. And I do want to also let you guys know, I know there's some comments that I haven't had time to get to that I'm going to try to answer now on some of my other videos, as far as like strategies that still work or don't work on videos I had uploaded. So I'm going to try to verify if the strategy does work, if there's not already a comment on the video on it working, and if it doesn't work, as soon as I know an easy viable strategy to use, then I will make a new video for that particular map. So right now we're just saving up for the super monkey. You shouldn't really have to micro anything here. There are a couple rounds, about 3 or so rounds that you do have to micro, but I will be sure to announce them and have the typical little shorthand script in the description for the order of upgrades, and as well as the rounds to pay attention for. So we're going to go ahead and get the Super Monkey here and put him in this corner. And that's more or less going to solo everything. Round 40 is the first one that you have to kind of be wary of with the Moab. So anyway, so it looks like on the update, the version 8 updates, as far as things that are like relevant, I'm just reading over them real quick. The Tack shooter, the Infernal Ring on the Tack shooter got a huge boost in power, but it is a very expensive upgrade. It's going to have very limited, most likely, uses on maps. But on maps that it can work, which I think there probably is a pretty good Ring of Fire Tier 5 strategy for this map. Then you know, go ahead and use it. It's a really good way to go. I know the Glue Gunner also got a boost with its Glue Storm ability, where it actually damages stuff. I don't know how good or bad it is now, but I do know that also got updated, which is interesting. The Wizard Monkey had a reduce in price for his Wall of Fire, which the Wall of Fire used to be overpowered. It was doing more damage than it was actually intended to do, and so the sorry, I was reading my script. So it does less damage like it's supposed to, but it costs less, so that it's actually a viable thing to kind of budget into your strategies. You can just put one Wall of Fire down to kind of help clean out dense rushes. You can get them you can stack more of them now for the same price, which is going to give you the same effect as having those stronger ones by default. So that's also interesting. I'm going to pause on that for a second. The one thing that I've talked about in my videos before that I haven't been able to show you is strategies involving the village, because the village can save you money, which means you can have a stronger defense, and I'm going to use that on this map as well. So generally speaking, using 3 villages gives you the maximum discount, like it will pay for itself, but almost no map can actually fit 3 in a reasonable way. Like even this one would be kind of hard to get a third one that overlaps the Super Monkey and it's not taking up valuable space, or it's going to actually overlap with anything else that's relevant. So if you can fit 3, ideally 3 is the maximum. It pays for itself, but 2 is often the number you'll use 2 because they self discount each other. And one of them can go toward like an MIB, and the other one can go toward the range increase and the attack speed increase. So you often will see this with 2. So I'm going to go ahead and update the village to 02. And it's just a matter of pricing. So right now I already know that I can't get to the number I need to get the other village first, so I'm going to buy my Alchemist first for that reason. And round 40 is a little sketchy. I've seen it go super smooth, and I've seen it go kind of on edge, and it's also failed once. So this is a black border run through. I don't know what causes it to run poorly in some cases, but it does. So I just got an Alchemist to get on my Super Monkey to help kill the Moab faster. We have the knockback on it, and I'm actually going to get Ultra Vision. It gives you just the slightest increase in range. So I'm going to get that as well, because that could make a difference. And one thing I will say is don't buy this Alchemist until you've completed round 39, so that you guarantee that it throws the potion and the Super Monkey is immediately using the potion. If you get it beforehand, he might have just got done with the potion and he doesn't get the throw, or he only gets a couple shots in, which that might have been where some of my variants came in from. You also want to throw the bushes. If the bushes lands on the path, I'm pretty sure you can't die to this, and I think it's only when it doesn't land on the path and you don't do the Alchemist right that you can die to this. So let's see how this one goes. And, okay, that one went just fine, so that one is cleared. So because I did some calculating on this ahead of time, so I now know that I can go ahead and avoid my second village, which I'm going to go ahead and get. And I'm going to go ahead and get the 2 upgrades, and now I need to go straight into a Sun God Monkey. And this is the basic strategy. You may or may not use villages depending on how much you really need the money or how technical you want to get with using your strategy. Because this is not something that you typically need to do, but if you can do it, it's a good thing to do. But harder maps might not give you the income to get the discount in time, or you might have to buy the plasma before you can buy the discounts, so you don't discount quite as much. The main one is that you get the Sun God. That's really the main thing to do. Round 45, there's some purples right there. So the only micro rounds besides really late game are the purple rounds. So that's round 45 and round 62. Those can kind of go wacky on you because the Super Monkey is weak to those. So I will remind you on each one of those rounds as they come up, 62 being the main one. But you just basically want to use Obyn's ability. You just want to make sure you're being smart with the way you're doing things, and it should work out. Even if they're getting far, the ninja catches the purples, and it can generally the Super Monkey still cleans it up in time, even when they get behind them. So besides this, we're saving it for Sun God, so I'm going to go back over here to the update while it's doing that. So one of the big things, which isn't a balance change, it's the bug fix, is that the heli pilot no longer works with the bug. So now the Alchemist actually does it properly. So you want to always use follow if you're going to go for the Comanche pilot on the heli pilot. And you know, it's still good. It's just not ridiculous like it used to be. I also know that the what is this called? The Apache Prime is also buffed, and it's pretty strong as well. I don't know if it's better or not, but I have seen some content from some really good players that I follow that have done that. So I know that the Alchemist also got a boost. The total transformation was reduced on the timing, so that actually might be a viable strategy moving forward more often than it used to be. It was already an okay strategy because of how powerful that ability is, but the fact that it's on a shorter cooldown could be something that you actually see use for in a lot of these harder maps. And so besides that, the other main things that have happened or been updated is the Monkey Village got a power boost, which I'm going to actually be using that as well. It does quite a bit more damage, so I'm going to be displaying that as well here. But that's really most of the updates. The main thing is that the Apache has been fixed, so you can't use that bug anymore. As well as the wall fire is a bit weaker, but it's still pretty strong depending on the way that you're using it. But besides that, it's just a matter of kind of recalibrating yourself for the new strategies and just seeing what works. Again, don't just use me as a resource. I mean, I'm sure if you found me, then you're also looking up other people. There's a lot of great content out there as far as finding really good players on strategies and how they've beaten certain maps as well. But again, this series is more about the overall learning of the way you want to think, the way you want to approach things with this. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Tack shooter. I'm going to upgrade this to Mentor so that I get my Tack shooter for free, or not for free, but the upgrades are free. And I'm just doing this to make sure on round 62 I don't randomly lose. So I'm just taking the free upgrades that are on that. Round 62 has a lot of purples, and they can just randomly kind of ruin your life. I had one time where it did it. So basically, just make sure you're using Obyn's abilities. Obyn's ability can also absorb the purples up to a certain number for a round. So just use that anytime you're scared. one of the very important things about Obyn's trees is that they actually absorb DDTs, or they damage DDTs rather. So that can help you kind of navigate those rounds as well later on in the match. One thing that I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure, but I haven't actually verified it anywhere. So Obyn's eventually the bushels here will burst into bananas that you get, and I thought that was a glitch when I first started playing and seeing that, but I think actually you don't get the income of anything it absorbs at the time of absorption, and then when it blows up, you just get the money you would have gotten for popping those same balloons that it absorbed. So I'm pretty sure that that isn't actually like a money-making engine. It's just simply you have a delay of getting that income as a consequence of using the bushels. So just keep that in mind. The bushels don't really matter much, at least on this map. You just use them whenever there's a lot of purples and you're worried about that going off, or if you are if there's DDTs, a lot of times you're going to throw them down. The only round that actually matters is we're going to use it on round 99, which is the hardest DDT round. So you need to not use the bushel on 98 because you won't have it off cooldown on 99 or 97 for that matter, but both those rounds have their own way of being dealt with, so there should be no reason why you should be panicking and hitting it at that point. And so right now we're just saving it for primary expertise. Once we get that, we're going to upgrade the Alchemist because it can then hit the primary expertise, and then we're going to be getting a Tack zone Tack shooter after that. And that's going to be our real defense. It's going to be the Sun God, the village expertise, and the Tack zone. Those are kind of our three main towers of popping, and then we're going to have a whole bunch of towers around to support it, like the glue gunner and the ninja for the sabotage and things like that. But yeah, if you do happen to have tried one of the strategies on one of my older videos for version 7 and it doesn't work in version 8, if you could please just go ahead and put a comment down real quick on that video saying it doesn't work, or if it does work but you had to change it, just put what you changed. That way it's documented, and I will do my best to get around to it. But again, right now, this game isn't my primary game. I play that card game a little bit more often now, and I'll be more excited once we get some more new content on BTD6, or preferably we get the Bloons Monkey City version. I love Bloons Monkey City, and so I really can't wait until we get that for this version of the game. Very excited about that. So we got the village now, so we're going to upgrade the Alchemist first. And I haven't checked, but I wonder how often the village resets, like how much of the Alchemist boost it gets, because it shoots kind of slow, it looks like. But I think it shoots, does it shoot faster when it's closer, when things are in range? Maybe not. So I wonder how long it actually retains the buff. So let's see here. So we got the buff. I think it's about 3. It's okay. It's most of the time. It's about 2 or 3 shots between each buff that it doesn't get. So that's not too bad. So again, we're gonna get the Tack shooter here. This Tack shooter is really strong for popping power. This could potentially be the new Ring of Fire tier 5. I don't know the name of it. But it doesn't have quite the same range, and it's more expensive. But if you can save up to it, it does a lot of damage. So it could also probably go here if that is a possibility. In fact, you would probably not get the village. You would just save up straight for the Ring of Fire tier 5, because the sum of these 2 tier 5s is probably about the same as that one tier 5. yeah, I mean, I like the fact that the game has changed a little bit, and that it's, you can't use the same old broken strategy that was really a bug to begin with. But that it definitely did help beat some of these harder maps easily. And I'm hoping that most of those strategies are still going to work. Um, and Again, if you have any content you want to see, I do still want to try to provide that for you guys if you're interested, or if you would be interested in seeing like the Elder Scrolls Legends content. You can kind of let me know. I've tried to live stream that game previously, but I kind of don't have time to do live streams, and if I were to make videos like this, that could possibly be on the table, but I would need to know what you guys want, and I only want to do it if you guys care about that. Because right now I'm kind of in a position where I don't really know what I want this channel to be about, and so whatever you guys have as far as feedback on what you want to see in BTD6 or whatever else, just let me know. And if you like the content, I will be making more content in whatever form that I'm doing it for whatever game in the future. Alright, so we're kind of getting more into the late game now. We're going to go ahead and get this Tack zone. There we go. And now that we have that, let's go ahead and get a... let's go and get an Alchemist on that. I think that's probably the best thing to get first. I went into the Sandbox Mode to kind of make sure that whatever final setup I have is going to work on key rounds like 98 and 99. But I don't really know what order I should get them in chronologically, but it probably doesn't matter too much. This is a pretty strong strategy, and none of the rounds are too hard between now and then. Alright, so we got that. Let's go ahead and get an MIB, because I want this guy to be able to damage DDTs. That's a big deal. One of the advantages of getting the Ring of Fire in that place is that you don't have to actually get the third upgrade. You just need to get the camo detection. But we want this guy to adhere to the DDTs. So the DDTs are the hardest part of this strategy. And actually the bat is actually pretty hard. This is a pretty bad strategy against the Bad Balloon, but we're going to get the sub ability to kind of offset that, because the sub ability basically makes almost any strategy beat the Bad Balloon if it can beat all the rounds previous to the Bad Balloon, which is pretty nice. So we got that. So now I'm going to get a glue. So I'm going to put this glue about, I just want to make sure it's in the range of the, yeah, okay, it's getting the super range there. And I want to put it about there. Put this on strong. And one thing that's nice about this is that it's also saving you a lot of money. Like right here, I don't have to buy any of these upgrades. I only had to buy the Moab wood. So that was a super cheap Moab glue tower. This might be a key tower, especially because it has infinite range. On some of the harder maps, this might become something that's more normal in the future, just because of that reason alone. So we got the glue. We're on round 87, so right now we're pretty set. We got DDTs coming up. There's not really anything needed for the basic DDTs. I know that I want to get a mortar, so I'm going to go ahead and get that guy now. I'm going to go ahead and put him up here. Obviously you'd want to put it right here in general while it's sitting, but it doesn't matter for it to sit between now and 98, and we're going to micro on 98, and we start at the top on the micro, so just to make it easier to not forget to put that at the top at the beginning of 98, I would recommend just putting it there at the start of the round, but technically you could put it on the intersection and then move it up. But we're going to get the mortar, and then we're going to get the sub upgraded so that he has the missile, whatever it's called. I'll look it up whenever I get there. But the activated ability, and then we need to get a ninja and a concoction alchemist. So those are kind of the support towers that we're still needing here with what's remaining for this Chimps mode. I had originally gotten a strategy down, and I was going to make a video right when the version 7 to 8 went for Rake, and it used the Comanche glitch, and so it didn't actually work without the Comanche glitch, and that's one of the reasons why this was such a delayed video, because I wasn't really playing the game much, so I didn't really know what was really good and strong now with the changes, and I had to take a second to kind of see what everyone else is doing for this one, since I have my attention elsewhere for my main game. So let's go ahead and get the sub upgraded here. Get the first strike. That's right, first strike is what that's called. And anytime you're scared of DDTs, like right there, we're fine. But if you don't already have a tree, just hit the tree. The DDTs will get sucked right up, and you should be good to go with that. The DDTs should not be a problem. So right now the only micro remaining is just rounds 98 and 99. 99 is just the normal micro. You got to hit. You got to do a balloon sabotage as soon as you see the DDT. You also want to use Obyn's ability to refresh the tree to absorb the damage. So that's just normal stuff for that. And round 98, you're going to have to micro the mortar because of the two-path nature of this map. But it's pretty easy because it's only two paths, and they both have a very significant curve. So there's a really easy, efficient way to do that. So again, I just hit the tree as soon as the DDT started coming out. Now they've already absorbed all the ability to damage them during that round, but it helped it not to for them to not keep getting further and further, which is the thing that's really dangerous about DDTs. And I'm going to get ready to pause, or to not auto start round 98, because I want to make sure that I'm prepared to do the micro and to also talk about the micro while I'm doing it. So I have a first strike here. I want to get a ninja, so I'm trying to put as much as I can into this. I want to put it in Obyn's. I'm trying to put it in Obyn's range and in both the village ranges. Okay, so I got that now, and I want to get an Alchemist. That's right. Whoa. Okay. There we go. The Alchemist is coming out here because this is where the bad balloon comes out, and that's really what you want the Alchemist for. But also the fact that it splashes just one side of the balloons here. When this explodes, it still damages the other ones, so it has the same effect, more or less. It should be good. Okay, that's supposed to just go through just fine. Now, one thing that I'm going to have to buy next round, which I'm going to go ahead and buy it now because I have the luxury of buying it now, is another glue gunner. So we're going to buy another one. It needs to be in the camo detection. So right there is the camo detection. And this one's going to be another Moab glue, which we're going to use for round 99 to have a guarantee of being able to get through it. And okay, so let's go ahead and start this round. Now you want to start the mortar here, and then you're going to toggle it between these two corners. So as soon as this gets around this corner like this, we're going to toggle this here. Because you led this one in, this one, you're not missing this one, and then you toggle it to this corner whenever this is led in some. And then you just keep toggling between these two corners, just let the mortar hit about 1 or 2 times per deal. And then we're going to use the first strike ability of the mortar whenever the Oh My Gods get kind of in this little middle area next to each other. You can also use a Monkey Ace, probably, but the first strike is much better against the bad balloon. And so for that reason, I would recommend a first strike. So he's going to do that. This should be good and clear to go. Oh, I might have messed up. Oh, I think I messed up. Wow. Alright, I'm going to cut this video into me doing this again. I don't want to have to record everything again, and I'll go over what I did there. I know the error that I made. So I'm going to cut over to that happening, and alright, hey guys, we just jumped over here to the Sandbox Mode. I disabled the monkey knowledge and have recreated the setup that we just had. I've also recreated the amount of money and everything as well. So we can just play the last 3 rounds from here. It'll emulate exactly what would have or should have happened in the main video. And so main thing was we were buying this in the village, getting ready to upgrade that. And remember, on round 98, you just want to micro the mortar. You're going to start here, and then you're going to go between the 2 corners, and then you're going to put the mortar on the center. And then you don't use the sabotage ability, you use the first strike ability. And the place where I messed up here was that I used the first strike too soon. I used it when the Oh My Gods were like this, and I should have used it when they were more on top of each other, because more or less part of the first strike is supposed to clear out some of the balloons, because the Sun God can't quite get to it because of how dense the balloons are. So careless mistake. Just be mindful in your games when you're doing that. The first strike ability is one of those abilities that makes a big difference exactly when you use it, for how much you get out of it. So we got all of these done here, so we're going to bring this down here now. And again, we're going to use the first strike whenever this pops, and then we get it right here, where it's popping part of that. And that should be good to go. It just pops all those out, and there we go. So now we're going to go to round 99 and go ahead and get that rolling. Again, we're going to use the sabotage as soon as we see the first one, and we're going to throw the trees up. And that should be more than enough to get through that round. And for round 100, which I'm going to go ahead and play it because I want the abilities to remain about the same on their timers, we do need a little bit more defense back here, so I'm going to get a cannon, if I can. Get some cannons back here to help clean up some of the balloons that are going to be coming out here. Get one here. And I'm even going to micro the mortar for the rest of this. So as you can see, the first strike's off cooldown, so go ahead and use that. And then the rest of this is just a matter of microing the mortar to get that extra damage. And then also you want to use the slowdown on the Oh My God / the balloons, if needed. So you just want to keep on pushing through here. Go ahead and slow it down now. And we should be good to go here. And that's it. So again, being in Sandbox, as long as you have monkey knowledge turned off and you didn't spend any more money than you would have had, it is exactly identical round for round as doing the other. In fact, I didn't even buy this upgrade. I forgot to buy this upgrade, so you actually don't need this glue gunner. I was just being extra careful whenever I was first prepping for the video. But anyway, hope you guys took something away from this. Be sure to like and to subscribe if you like this kind of content. Give me a comment on what kind of content you want to see in the future, and I hope you guys have a great day.